The internet is going crazy over a woman's shocking claim about Ms. Harris, which no one saw coming. She claims that she was trapped and had no way out, and now she's speaking out to tell the world the truth. The real shocker is that Mendeecees hasn't said a word, no denial, no explanation, nothing. Fans are divided, with some demanding that he speak up right away, while others think this is just another attempt to bring him down and handily. Oh, you better believe she's involved in this too. You're going to want to hear every single detail, so let's break it down. The story starts with a simple post that didn't seem like much at first, but as soon as it hit the internet, it was as though a fire had been ignited. This woman, whose identity was initially kept under wraps, claimed that she had been involved in a situation with Mendeecees Harris that left her feeling completely trapped. The media and people are already reading into it because she knows something we don't. Or is she just waiting for the right moment to react? That's why this story is going out of control. Describe the entire experience as something she never saw coming and something that had haunted her for years. But why now? Why speak out after all this time? These were the questions fans had when the story first surfaced in her account. She claimed that when they first met, DC had been a charming and influential figure. He was well known for his involvement in the entertainment industry and his role in Love and Hip Hop, which apparently made him even more charismatic. At first, she claimed that he was kind and courteous, and nothing seemed strange. But things took a dark turn when she began to feel that something was wrong. The more domineering Mendeecees became, the more he would not let me leave. She said it felt like the walls were closing in and there was no way out. She said she tried to leave multiple times, but every time, he would find a way to pull her back and manipulate the situation, so she felt like she had no choice but to stay. I would rather not be there, she said, but every time I tried to leave, he reminded me of how much control he had. As the woman went into further detail, the story grew even more terrifying. She described moments when she felt completely helpless, claiming that Mendeecees would emotionally corner her, making it seem like there was nothing else to do but comply with his wishes. Total control over me, and I couldn't breathe, she said, clearly shaking as she described the details. By this point, the internet was ablaze with theories and rumors, and fans of Mendeecees were taken completely by surprise. They thought that DCs, who were known for their calm demeanor and family-focused life on screen, couldn't possibly be capable of such a thing. Many fans rushed to his defense, claiming that this was just another instance of someone attempting to discredit a celebrity. One user commented, "Mendeecees would never do something like this. I won't believe it for a second, but there." There were also many people who were beginning to doubt their preconceived notions about M's. Some pointed out that even though he seemed like a loving husband and father on TV, there was always a chance that there was more to him behind the scenes. We only see what they want us to see. One skeptical viewer said, "Who knows what he's really like when the cameras aren't rolling?" As the woman's story gained momentum, more people started to look into Mendeecees' past. Some noticed patterns in his behavior that might have been warning signs, but they had not been noticed at the time. One commenter said, "The woman claimed that the night in question was something she would never forget, saying that she had been completely blindsided by how quickly things escalated. It started off somewhat normal," she said, "but within minutes everything changed and I was trapped." Her words painted a picture of fear and helplessness that fans had never associated with Mendeecees before. She described the encounter as a moment where she felt completely powerless, unable to make any decisions for herself. However, she had not yet disclosed all the details of her encounter with Mendeecees, and the weight of her accusations was enough to make headlines. The accusations were shocking, and as more people started to consider them, the pressure on M to respond increased. Fans were demanding answers, and the longer he remained silent, the more people started to wonder if the accusations were true. Some saw his silence as a sign of guilt, while others thought he was just biding his time before clearing his name. As the story gained momentum, it became evident that this wasn't going to be something that just blew over. People were hungry for details, and the more they talked about it, the more the story seemed to spiral inexorably. The woman, for her part, didn't seem interested in attention. She wasn't seeking fame or fortune. She just wanted to tell her story and warn others about the kind of man she claimed Mendeecees were. "I'm not doing this for me," she said. "I'm doing this because people need to know the truth. They need to know who he really is." However, as people started to dissect her claims, they noticed inconsistencies, and some wondered if she had ulterior motives. The speculation was out of control. Theories ranged from this being a complete fabrication to a deeper, darker secret that Mendeecees have been hiding for years. As the first part of the story came to an end, it was evident that this was only the beginning. The woman's claims had opened a Pandora's box, and regardless of what happened next, men's lives in DC would never be the same. The accusations against men spread like wildfire on social media, leaving people divided. One viewer commented, "I don't know if I believe her." But despite this, the damage had already been done, and all eyes were on MD. What would he say? Would he fight back, or would the weight of the accusations be too much for him to handle? In the fast-paced world of social media, silence isn't just suspicious, it's damning. Fans demanded answers. Some wondered why he wasn't immediately denying it if the accusations were false, and others thought he was taking his time crafting the perfect response. But one person wasn't keeping quiet at all. While others thought it was just another attempt to bring down a successful black man, one thing was clear. The world wanted answers, and Mendeecees' silence was only making things worse. Hours went by, then a full day later, and still no statement from him. She disclosed terrifying details of her alleged experience with Mendeecees in an exclusive interview. She said that everything began well, that he was charming and made her feel at ease, but that after that, everything changed because her Mendeecees became possessive and controlling, and that things eventually took a dark turn. She explained how he allegedly put her in a situation where she felt helpless and unable to leave. At first, she was afraid to speak out, but she said in a trembling voice, "I knew who he was. I knew what kind of power he had, but I couldn't keep this to myself any longer. I couldn't let him do this to anyone else in the public." The way she described it, her fear and her sense of being trapped touched many people. But then the situation took another tragic turn. This time, a woman who was completely unrelated to the first woman came forward, but her story was uncannily similar. And when I saw her interview, I knew I couldn't keep quiet any longer. She claimed that he made her feel the same way, as if there were no way out. This changed everything. One accusation could be written off as a misunderstanding, but two with the same unsettling details, the internet exploded, and people started requesting that Mendeecees speak out. After days of silence, NBC finally broke his silence. But instead of making a statement, he posted a mysterious video on Instagram with no words or captions, just him staring into the camera while Drake's Fake Love played in the background. The internet went into a frenzy, wondering what he was trying to say. Was he calling the women Myers, mocking the situation, or suggesting that even his closest friends had turned against him? The reactions were immediate and intense, but that's not a denial. One person tweeted, "If he was innocent, why wouldn't he just say it?" This was his way of saying that he was being set up, that everyone around him is fake, and that you all don't see the bigger picture. Then, in another unexpected turn of events, Yandy finally spoke out, but her response wasn't what people had anticipated. Instead of posting a lengthy statement defending her husband, she didn't go live to clear the air. Instead, she posted a simple black screen with white text. There are two sides to every story, and fans were left in shock. What did she mean? Was she implying that the accusations were untrue, or was she implying that something had occurred, but there was more to the story and nobody knew what to think? That uncertainty only made things worse. Then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more chaotic, a screenshot appeared online purportedly from one of the accusers. In the message, she was seen texting a friend saying, "I told you this was going to work. Now we just wait for the money to come in. The internet went crazy, and if this message was genuine, it meant that the entire scandal could have been a setup. Mendeecees supporters immediately went on the attack, claiming that this was never about justice but rather money. In a stunning moment, one of the accusers spoke out again, saying, "I never sent that text," and insisting that the screenshot was a desperate attempt by MVC's team to discredit her, saying, "They're trying to destroy my reputation." Others called for the women to be held accountable, saying, "If this is fake, they need to be exposed." False accusations ruin lives, but not everyone was convinced. Some questioned the authenticity of the text message, asking how we even know this is real. The internet was split more than ever before over whether DCs were being set up or if these women were telling the truth and were now being portrayed as liars. However, just when everyone thought they had seen it all, someone unexpected came forward, not an alleged victim, but someone from M's own circle who knew him well, had worked with him for years, and had seen things most people hadn't. Their words would change the internet, which was already in disarray, but when a former associate of Mendeecees came forward, it reached a whole new level. This wasn't just a random attention-seeking individual. This was someone who had been involved in Mendeecees. The anonymous source, claiming to be a former business associate, revealed shocking information in a candid interview. The public sees a family man, businessman, and reality star, but behind the scenes, there's a different story. The interviewer pressed for details. "What do you mean by that?" The source side is controlling. He manipulates situations to always work in his favor, and when things don't go his way, he does whatever it takes to silence people. The last part immediately caught everyone's attention. Was this person implying that Mendeecees had done? I can't say for sure what happened between him and those women, but I can say that I've seen him cross lines before, act aggressively when he doesn't get what he wants, and use his influence to make problems go away. This revelation was huge. It wasn't just the accusations anymore. It was someone from his own past who knew him personally, adding fuel to the fire. Social media exploded again, and you're all still defending him after this. Come on. The interviewer didn't hold back. Are you saying that the accusations against him might be true? The source hesitated. People are speaking out. You know it's bad. Another was added, but MC's supporters weren't backing down. This is just a smear campaign. One fan claimed that they're dyeing up anyone to speak against him now that the internet debated men. VCs were still silent. Fans expected him to say something, but all they got was another cryptic post. This time it was a simple quote that went viral. What is this even supposed to mean? He's calling everyone weak for speaking out, which isn't a good look. Meanwhile, the alleged victims weren't finished speaking out. One of the women gave. She doubled down on her claims in another interview, and this time she had receipts that she used to extract old messages between her and Mendeecees that show conversations in which he allegedly controlled her, pressured her, and made her feel trapped. She scrolled through them, displaying the timestamps, and this is how it began. He initially seemed to care, but as she went on, he became increasingly aggressive, and this is when I finally stood up for myself. Notice how he reacts. She shows him a message in which she tells him she is no longer comfortable, and his response is cold and dismissive, almost threatening. The internet went crazy, with people analyzing every single message in search of hints, and some people thought that. In a now viral post, one of the men's former partners made a shocking claim that he had also been controlling and aggressive during their relationship. I had never spoken about it before because I didn't want the drama, but after hearing these women's stories, I can't keep quiet any longer. This was a game share. The media went viral with its headlines everywhere, and as more women spoke out against MC's men, DC's faced backlash. At this point, even celebrities began to react, with some celebrities separating themselves from him on social media. When it appeared that there was no way out, Mendeecees' response changed everything. In a shocking live interview, NBC sat down with a well-known journalist to clear his name. The interview began tense, but the journalist didn't waste time. People wanted answers. Did you do what these women are accusing you of, men? DC shook his head. Absolutely not, leaning forward and looking directly into the camera. I want to make one thing clear. I have never done anything like these accusations. The journalist wasn't letting him off easy, so why do you think these women are coming forward? Why would they lie? I don't know, maybe it's for attention, maybe it's for money, maybe someone is putting them up to it. All I know is that these claims aren't true. He went on. As for that so-called friend who spoke out, that's just someone looking for clout, someone who's angry because they're no longer in my circle. The journalist pressed harder. What about the messages and screenshots that were purported proof? C shook his head. People can fake anything these days, so I'm not sure where those came from, but they're not real. The internet wasn't buying it, based on his body language. He simply denied everything without providing any real explanation. Where is the proof that these women are lying? At the same time, NBC's supporters were uniting behind him, believing random screenshots over a man's actual words, but the damage was done. Even with his denial, the controversy wasn't going away. Then, in the most unexpected turn of events, a secret recording leaked, which was about to completely upend the situation. Everyone was talking about the leaked recording, which appeared to capture Mendeecees in a conversation. He never wanted the record. The clip was just over 3 minutes long, but those 3 minutes were explosive. It began with the woman's voice, which was nervous, shaky, but determined. "You know what you did to me," she said, "and now you're acting like it never happened." Mendeecees' voice then came next, calm but defensive. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. "You need to stop this before it gets out of hand," he said. The woman didn't back down. "I beg you to stop. That night I told you I wasn't comfortable, but you didn't listen." After a long pause, Mendeecees said something that sent shockwaves through social media. "You were acting as though you wanted it, and now you're flipping the story." Boom, the internet exploded. Did he just to them at high bro just bury himself? He shouldn't have remained silent because this is crazy and there is no way out of this. But just when people thought it could get any worse, a second recording was released by a woman. This time, it was even worse because it purportedly showed Mendeecees offering money to resolve the situation. His voice said, "I'll make sure you're straight. Just stop talking about this." The woman in the clip sounded disgusted. "So you think you can pay me off because you believe this is just about money?" There was silence again, and then Mendeecees' voice returned, this time colder. "I'm trying to help you, but if you want to play this game, know I have lawyers." That connection, "You really want to go against me." That was it. The industry quickly turned against him, and brands that had collaborated with him lost business deals. Reality TV. Connections were severed, and even his friends in the entertainment industry began to distance themselves. However, the biggest shock came when Yandy's wife finally spoke out. She went live on Instagram, looking hurt, exhausted, and completely drained. "I've been with this man for years, and I've stood by him and defended him, but these recordings and accusations are unavoidable." She took a deep breath and said, "I need time to figure things out before. Now that I'm leaving him, the internet lost it. Yandy even knows that it's bad for him if she leaves him." Then, all of a sudden, Mendeecees disappeared. There were no new posts or statements, and everyone began to speculate. Was he hiding, meeting with lawyers, or planning a comeback? No one knew, but then, in a crazy turn of events, a new lawsuit was filed against Mendeecees. The first woman who accused him wasn't finished. She was taking him to court. And then a third woman came forward, claiming to have receipts. She posted screenshots of DMs purportedly from M in the messages. He was pleading with her to remove something, saying, "Please don't go public with this one message." Fans were shocked at this point, and even men who were DC's biggest supporters were backing away. There is too much evidence to conclude that all of these women are lying. This is R. Kelly again. Then, the last bomb came when a video appeared online. It was security footage from a hotel lobby, and in it, DC's were seen fighting with the woman. She appeared visibly upset at one point, and when she attempted to leave, Mendeecees grabbed her wrist. The last nail in the coffin was when Mendeecees finally broke his silence and posted a lengthy message on Instagram that read, "This has been the hardest time of my life. I have never hurt anyone and I will fight to clear my name." The truth will come out, but no one believed him. The comments were cruel, and it was too late for that, bro. If you were innocent, you wouldn't have been this quiet for so long. His empire was collapsing, reality TV was ruined, his reputation was destroyed, and worst of all, he had no one left to defend him. What happens next? Will M fight back? Will the lawsuits destroy him? Will Yandy officially leave him? One thing is certain though, this story is far from over, and we'll be here to give you every update as it happens. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the latest drama. Please let us know in the comments if you think M is guilty or if this is all part of a larger setup. The scandal is so explosive that it has left fans, the industry, and even DC's closest allies completely shaken. The biggest question is still, will M finally defend himself? There are still many unanswered questions, so if you've been following this drama as closely as we have, make sure you are tuned in for every update. If you believe the truth needs to come out, hit the like button or subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any breaking developments. At this point, anything could happen next, and we want to hear from you. What do you think? Is the VC hiding something, or is he being falsely accused? Do you believe the women coming forward, or do you think? This is Gossip Vibey, giving you the most recent, surprising, and talked about topics in entertainment. Stay tuned because, believe us, this is just the beginning. There is more to this story. Share your ideas in the comments section below, and let's discuss it.